Hi guys, I do not normally like to tell too much information about my likes or dislikes or anything, but I guess because I am almost hitting 100 subscribers, I just wanted to give my thoughts on a show called Heartland. You might not like it, you might like it. I like it. I think horses are terrifying. They walk around on these things like these little knobs, and the knobs have nails on them, and that somehow balances them, which is insane. If anything, I like horses because if you think about it too much, why do horses put up with us? So, that sort of concept is enjoyable. I'm not a horse person, but I thought since Horseland is somehow getting another season, a season 17, yep, we're up to season 17. I might as well talk about the first episode. And are you thinking to yourself, oh, we're going to talk about the first episode, then the second, then the third? Nope, nope, nope. So we're going to talk about episode 1, season 1. Then, if this video gets more than 2 likes, and I'll drop a like, I'll contribute, I'll drop that one first like, and then I'll go by season basis if I feel like it. One other person just has to like this video, okay? Okay, so let's move on to the recap. So first we start out with a stormy night. Horse Girl and Horse Girl Mom are trying to steal this black horse, stallion, hemmin and hawing, I don't know what the terms are, but he's completely wiling out probably because you're trying to steal him in the middle of the night. I don't know how long horses sleep. Let me Google that right quick. 2 hours. They only sleep for 2 hours. Bet. Okay, so they tried to steal this horse in the middle of the night, right? And the horse girl mom is like, it's worth it. We got to save this horse. And the daughter is like, not in the middle of the storm. Then the bad guy comes out there and he's like, you're not stealing my horse. I'm calling the police or the FBI. The horse mom threatens him or whatever. The horse also threatens him. And then they put the horse in a truck and he's completely trying to get out of that truck, and they accidentally crash during this storm into a tree. Horse authorities find them. Of course, they take care of the horse, and then the horse authority takes care of the people that were crashed in the car, and unfortunately, one alive human. The mom died. So, yeah, it's a shame. So Pop Pop makes everyone aware of the loss in the family, of course. I really feel like throughout the season, we should have had her come back or fake her death in some way. The grandpa informs the older sister. Now, the older sister supposedly lives in New York, but if you look at that town, it is the most Canadian version of New York ever. Those skyscrapers, they're supposed to scrape the sky. They're just so short. What? Who? Anyway, and also, the taxi that she just oh, sorry, I bumped into you. What? You're in New York. You don't say sorry. You bump into the taxi, it's their fault. They should have thought you. But anyway, so yeah, a very polite version of New York. And she gets called back to her hometown of Heartland. Now, do I know where Heartland is in particular? She's coming from New York. Do you assume that it's somewhere in No, it's Canada. It's Canada. It's Canada. Yeah, it's Canada completely. So she goes back to Canada. So Pop Pop tells the big sister that there was a tragic accident and that her younger horse girl sister is in the hospital. Sees that her baby little sister is he's in a horrible state. Nobody did her makeup. Nobody, yeah, she's still got cuts and bruises. And I'm like, how did they just let those open wounds? But I did to be Then she wakes up from the hospital and lovely, love to see it. But then she gets informed that her horse girl mom did not make it. And that's super duper sad. And they go straight to the funeral. So they do have a funeral where the mom gets buried on the local family cemetery on the property, which if you're looking at this property, there's hills, there's valleys. It's too big. And then we get introduced to this neighborhood kid that we don't know the context of that situation. The best thing that I kind of like about Horseland is that they don't explain anything to you. Like, honestly, you kind of have to watch a few times. I mean, I have to watch a few times to get it. But yeah, they don't explain anything. The big sister. She's coming back to take care of the farm. We're supposed to personify ourselves through the sister's interaction with the world because she's our introduction to everything. I mean, she doesn't know what's going on like we don't know what's going on. But she is so unlikable. She's so unlikable. She talks about to the little horse girl sister, hey, I know you just came back from the hospital, but the land is doing badly. I'm gonna do some business here. The sister's like, okay, you're gonna do some business and then you're gonna leave, and then you're not gonna come back. So why are you even messing with this? And she's like, instead of giving an answer like, yes, I am gonna leave, but I'll take care of this first. Or no, I'm not gonna leave, but I'll take care of this first. I guess she's still deciding. There's nothing against that other than it annoys me. So there is something against it. So the horse girl's gonna live with the pop-pop. And the big sister that came from New York is planning to go back to her job. But she sees how bad that the horse land, again, I mean, for the first time me saying this, what do they actually do there? I don't understand the job of Horseland. Like, I'm as much as a horse girl as the next person. Like, I love to see horses and see them jump on those tiny, tiny feet. That's only suspended by nails. So I love to see that happen, of course. But then we jump cut to the B plot. Big sister's taking care of business, talks to some sort of higher official horse guy, and he's like, I did work for your mom. I can't just do work for you. You got like half the genes of your mom, and then half of it's something else I don't recognize, so I can't do work with you. And she's like, I worked in New York. Do you know how to say bagel? It's bagel down there. I'm like, and he gets impressed. Well, the grandpa is also networking, trying to act his business lady friend if what can he do for the business? It's really going down. And she's like, well, you can give it up and give it to me. And he's like, absolutely not. I want to help with the business, but I guess you can't help me. That's okay. And he's like, well, we can open up a drink. And she's like, nah, no, I just wanted advice. But if your best advice is give it up, I don't think I'm going to do that. And then they just like leave. New York big sister finds a way to actually save the land. So then emo boy shows up, and due to his tragic past, he has to learn how to be friends with other people through the healing properties of horses. So, and he just introduced himself in a snarky way, and Horse Girl knows how to also is very fluent in snark, so she also does that. Back to our Horse Girl and what she's doing at night, goes to this party. And it's like a super cool party, and these people, this Canadians, like, what? They thought that guy, so Horse Girl had a boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, which, as soon as I saw his face, he was an ex-boyfriend, so, the ex-boyfriend of the Horseland, and then her typical, 3 friends that she hangs out with for the Horse Girl's past or whatever, and then you have a bully character that's blonde, and she's like really snooty, and she's like, oh, so sad that your mom died. Yeah, that pause was awkward too. Did you think that was awkward? Because that's in the show, Horse. She got invited to a high school party where her boyfriend shows up, and it's full of, I don't know what type of party this is. All the guys are dressed up in long sleeves like they're cold. Then all the ladies are dressed up in bikinis like it's hot outside and they have a jacuzzi, which... Why, Ed? I don't understand. Is it hot or cold? I mean, it's snowing. So, what's with the bikinis? Yeah, I don't... Boyfriend gets annoying. Emo guy hits the boyfriend because he's annoying. And, seeing that happen, I don't like how that looks, but that's what happens. Then she says to the emo boy, you're crazy? I'm getting out of here. Now, the emo boy came in his old car, and she's got to walk home. So it just looks really bad when he rolls up on her while she's walking the streets in this cold environment. Again, it's cold. She's like, it's icy on the ground, but okay. Why the bikinis? But okay. Um, and he's like, hey, I could kidnap you right now. He doesn't actually say that. He says something less creepy, but all I'm thinking is, I'm walking home at night, and you know what else could be? It could be Horseland or it could be Wolfland. Anyway, he's like, can I give you a ride? And she says no. And he's like, what is it going to harm? My dignity. And she walks the rest home. She just walks home, and he's following behind her with the car that's warm. Anyway, so she finally gets home, and the sister, the Pop, and some other worker is helping do the work that the emo boy was supposed to do. He went to that party instead of doing the work that he was hired to do. Right beside her, not in the same car, but right beside her, is the Pop's like, I told you not to get after any of my daughters. What are you doing? And he's like, I'm trying to get after your daughter, but you should be cool with it. I'm a cool person. And he's like, nah, you're out of here. Pack your bag. Everybody's cool with it. He's basically fired. And then Horse Girl talks to at night. She is having a hard time with the horse, training it. And she asks advice from our emo guy. And the emo guy is just like, look, that horse needs to be turned into glue. What do they do with the rest of it? I guess dog food. Anyway, that's too morbid. I might cut that out. I'm not going to cut that out. He says something snarky, she says something snarky, and then, like they like each other, but kind of not. That's Horse Girl and what she's doing. Then she leaves, and she's like, I'm going to try one more time with this horse. One more time, and scream at it until it just does the thing, which I don't know what the thing is. And she's trying to train this horse, or run it until it's tired. The morning happens, and Grandpa's like, yep, she's out there trying to train that horse. And the sister like, oh my goodness, she's still trying to train that horse. And he's like, yep. And it's going pretty bad. And then the guy pops in, and he's like, wow, she said that she would be determined to ride that horse if it was the last thing she did or whatever. I don't know if she's going to get it, though. There's this really funny moment where she tries to train that horse. She yells at the horses with these red eyes because she's crying. And I just can't help but, it's a little bit funny because, it would be funny because... No, I'll explain. It's funny because, not because the mom died. That's not funny, but, because the horse made it. With those fragile little toes, the horse made it. And usually, if you break a leg, that's why horses aren't in theater. So, she's yelling at the horse like, oh my goodness, you're the reason why we went out there. It's your fault. Why? And she's got these red eyes, and then she all of a sudden remembers her mom and how the mom is basically Jedi training her to, tame this horse. You're so good with horses. Horse Girl, you're the best. You just got to know how these horse languages are. You just train the horse. You've got the gift. And believe in yourself. And then she's peaced out. That's the last time we see the mom. We just see her in flashbacks. A little bit. But, that's the last time we see her looking jovial, Horse Girl has intuition with horses. Have they ever thought of what the properties of their power system is? But apparently, Horse Girl can calm down horses, hear horses from far distances, and give a halfway communication between horse and person. The mom also had this power, but it is only to the mom and the daughter, and Pop has not displayed. Look. I'm up to season 14. I haven't seen him display the same type of intuition. He just has the normal, training horses. I don't know what goes into training horses, but seems like they have a normal human power and ability. But she's like, after a few more tries, determination, she gets the horse. The horse allows her to, go near it and doesn't freak out, which I thought it did that before, but okay. Horse Girl talks to the black horse that she just tamed successfully. She's like, should I just let this emo boy get fired? And she shakes the horse. He's like, no. So, he talks to the Pop, and he's not fired after all. Then, there's 5 minutes left of the episode. We get a mysterious letter. that says, "This letter is from your real father." Dum bum da. I don't know how that song's supposed to go. So the real father meets up with the older sister. They're having secret communications, and he meets up with the older sister, and he's like, "I want to be back in your life, but Pop's never gonna allow it." And so we basically end with that, with the secret relationship between the older sister and the father rekindling, and him wanting to rekindle a relationship with her other daughter now that the mother has died. So we go to the younger sister visiting the family grave and showing her ride the horse right next to the family grave, showing that she's going to move on and carry that horse with her. And the symbolic horse that her mom represents. I don't know if she ever wanted to be a half horse, half person. Anyway, so that's the recap. I would appreciate if you guys could make some suggestions for more shows to watch, or I would really like to get into reviewing audio dramas. Any recommendations will make me less mad at you. How did I become mad at you? Skill issues detected plus ratio. Thanks so much for watching this video now that you watched it. Do you mind pressing that like button down below? And that'll force me to make another video, but that's okay. HoRse was an engaging, wholesome show that didn't hold your hand in order to give exposition, because basically everyone knows what horses are indefinitely. With the first episode, you feel like it's a lived-in world, and having it so realistically depict how life is. I mean, it's no wonder why it went on for 17 seasons. After looking on YouTube and seeing some of the other creators talk about this show, and their channels are way more wholesome than mine. It looks like I learned that Heartland originally is a book series. It has more than 20 books, so. Things I don't like about HoRse, well, it's very slow at times, and when it gets slow, it gets so boring. The older sister, not a fan favorite. Actually don't like her sometimes. There's jokes that fly right over my head. So I don't know if that's just a skill issue. So yes, what brings me to this next part? So far I feel like Heartland, or as I'd like to call it. HoRse, I'll give it for horseshoes out of 9 because it's not very good, but it's okay, and it's definitely not awful. So yeah, watch the show if you get the time. Tell me how you think about it in the comments down below, and please look down and look at that. But I'm down there because I think it's going to turn a rainbow color as soon as I say, please subscribe, okay? Bye. I only talk about all this TV shows because we're competitors, okay?